I try to get out, but they just keep pulling me back in. What is up, Finn fans? Yes. I said that's it. I said no more talking about 2020 Tua. The 222s, the TTTTs. But Alex Rollins came out with a very good video, and a lot of you guys hit me up and said you should react to this because you guys liked my reaction video, so I'm going to keep those going, especially with the offseason. They're going to get dead real soon. So here you go. But we're not just going to do that, right? You got your time stampage going down here. I think it goes this way for you guys. Or no, this way. I don't know. So we got a few things to talk about. First and foremost, we just broke 24,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so very much. I have something really cool over here, and I know you guys are going to enjoy that. So we're going to talk about that first. Then we're going to go preseason schedule was officially released with dates and times. So we're going to go over that. Then we're going to get to the Alex Rollins video, and then one of you guys sent me a package for package of the day. So like I said, we just broke 24,000 subscribers. And as I say we, you guys helped. You guys obviously subscribed. You guys did all that good stuff, shared it, and helped us get past 24,000 subs. So the guys at the Backroom Collection hit me up. They liked the channel, just like you guys, and they wanted to send me something. Now, these guys do some crazy good artwork, and they asked me who is my favorite Dolphin, or, we noticed you have a lot of room on that back wall. Like, who would you want to put up there? Of course, I said Jason Taylor, because I don't really have, it's a lot of Marino. Duper is down there, autographed. And I said Jason Taylor. So they sent me this. Heavily taped, which is good. You know you're getting some good stuff. But again, like I said, I'm doing this for the 25. We just broke 24,000 subs, so I want to. Holy crap! Are you kidding me? Look at this. So, again, I'm not giving this away. This is staying with me. But they sent me this. Old stadium. I asked for the black background. Jason Taylor. This thing is absolutely amazing. It's going on the wall behind me. But if you guys want to get yourself this, or any NFL player, any baseball player, any basketball player, anything you want, go to their Facebook page. I'll pop it up here. It'll also be in the description. Use the promo code DDW. You get yourself 10% off. This stuff, it's on canvas. Listen. It's on canvas. The stuff is amazing, and look how good this looks. So if you don't want Jason Taylor, if you want like Zonka or somebody, or you want, hit him up. Again, use the promo code DDW. You get yourself 20% off. Look how amazing this looks. Go hit him up. That is a big thank you from me to you. With that promo code, you guys can get yourself, whatever sports player you want, anything like that. Go hit them up. It is the Backroom Collection. Also follow them on Twitter. So that is the first thing I wanted to talk about and get out there. We broke 24K. I wanted to get you guys something, help you out, get some fantastic art. Hit them up. Next thing, preseason schedule was officially released in the fact of dates and times. So this is, I'll pop it up from Cameron Wolf. And he released, well, he didn't, but he tweeted out the order. So we know that we're going to play at the Bears, home for the Falcons, at the Bengals on the 14th, the 21st, and the 29th. We didn't know the time. Now we know. On August 14th, we're playing at 1 o'clock. Week 1, week 2, home for the Falcons, which will be, coincide camp combination there. 7 p.m. on August 21st. And the third and final preseason game at Cincinnati is on August 29th at 4 p.m. and it'll be nationally televised on CBS. Now, I don't know if they expect Tua and Joe Burrow to play that game, but being that it's the third preseason game, I honestly don't see that happening. I think the Falcons game, the second game, will be the dress rehearsal, but maybe you get a snap or two. But I think you're going to start with Brissett and whoever their backup is, and then you might see Reed Sinnett come in, and I don't think you're going to see any starters for that last game, but it is nationally televised, so I'm going to try to live stream all these games. We're going to live stream them, see what we have, see who they're going to re-sign, keep, all that good stuff. But so that is the gist of it. Now let's talk about the video we're going to be reacting to. Now, Alex Rollins, he was on Finside the NFL. I was on there with TD and Ball Game, EM, and that was on Wednesday night. So if you're a Patreon or a member, you're watching this on Thursday night, but everyone else is watching on a Friday. I was on there. He was talking. We were talking about everything over there, and he brought up that he had Alex Rollins on. I think it was like last week. Very good. If you haven't, go back, check out his, the Finside of the NFL with Alex Rollins. So he brought him up, and then a lot of you guys were like, Doug, you need to check out this video. The real reason why Tua Tagovailoa struggled in his rookie year. So I was hearing a lot from you guys, and then another one of you guys, Patrick Mullen, hit me up, said, hey, Doug, I know you want to be unbiased. I know you want to, stay neutral with the Tua-neers and the haters and stuff. Watch this video and, what do you think? So I haven't seen this video yet. You're going to watch it with me, fresh eyes. If you want to watch the video, I'm going to link it in the description because I will be pausing to give my reaction to things he says and all that stuff. But let's jump into this. I'm going to minimize myself and we're going to watch this video together. Here's his at. Go follow.
After the Dolphins drafted Tua Tagovailoa with the 5th overall pick in
That's his at. Go follow him on Twitter. Give him some support. All right.
2020, nobody anticipated Tua time winding down before it really had a chance to get started. To begin his career, Tua sat behind Ryan Fitzpatrick the first 6 weeks of the season. But after the bye week in Week 7, to the surprise of everybody, Brian Flores and the Dolphins announced Tua would be the starter. Although he went 7-3 in those 10 games, his arrival kicked off a turbulent stretch for the Dolphins offense where Flores benched him multiple times during games due to his poor performance. And even though they finished 10-6, the Dolphins missed out in the playoffs in the final week after getting blown out by the Bills. While there were some impressive highs, there were even lower lows.
Agree. 100%. And if you've been following me, if you've been listening to the videos, actually listening to the videos and listening to what I'm saying, I've said that time and time again. He has done some good goods. What is that? He has done some really good things. But there are things that he severely needs to work on. So I'm very interested to see what he has to
Raising
say.
questions and concerns about Tua's viability to play quarterback at a high level. All of the abilities that led to him being drafted 5th overall were actually areas he struggled in during his rookie season. His accuracy diminished and was unpredictable, his pocket movement was rushed and unsettled, and his ability to anticipate throws and manipulate defenders almost completely disappeared. But, at the same time, it wasn't all on Tua. There's plenty of blame that goes to the Dolphins' lack of an overall plan and structural issues on the offense from top to bottom. If we rewind a few months before the Dolphins drafted him, they first brought Chan Gailey out of a 4-year retirement to become their offensive coordinator. But that wasn't a move made looking into the future, but a move made more focused on the present. Gailey was brought in because of Fitzpatrick, who he'd coached not just once before, but twice. And he installed an offense around Fitz, whose play style is the polar opposite of Tua's. Fitz is a gunslinging, push the ball into a tight window, throw a jump ball down the field type of QB, and Gailey designed the system around him and not Tua at all. One of the scheme's core aspects was aggressive throws to one-on-one isolated receivers, which was a perfect fit for Miami's receiving core since they had massive receivers like Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, and Mike Gesicki. The system and personnel were designed for the offense to win one-on-one matchups instead of being centered around timing-based concepts that stretch out the defense. The scheme didn't fit Tua, and the personnel didn't fit Tua. And if you're wondering what changed when he became the starter, the answer is just about nothing.
Very, very interesting. That is very interesting. And if you look at what they're doing now, Gailey's not with the team anymore, and I honestly don't think it had really anything to do with the success or lack of success with offense. I think Fitz was going to be out, and like Alex said, he was mostly brought in to help Fitz because they had that connection for 5 years together. But look at the receivers we brought in. Look at the type of receivers we brought in, and Foster and Waddle and you know, these, you know, Foster might not be a big high priced guy, but even Will Fuller, these speedy guys that can play on the inside, play on the outside, fits more to his play style, more to what he does well, instead of forcing a round peg into a square hole like they kind of did throughout the season. So that's very interesting what Alex said there.
Gailey's usage of 3x1 alert style concepts is a perfect example of this problem. These concepts required Tua to frequently throw deep one-on-one isolation routes, which aren't geared towards his strengths or what he excelled at while playing in college. This type of play design has an alert side and a concept side, where Tua determines pre-snap, or sometimes post-snap, if this alert route will be one-on-one. That could mean it's just man coverage, or if he sees safeties rotating away from that side of the field. And if he didn't have that one-on-one matchup, he'd go right to the concept side. In his second start, he had some success with these alert concepts, and he led the Dolphins to a 34-31 win, which would end up being his best game all season. But after his brightest hour, that's when things began to change. 2 weeks later against the Broncos, he completed just 55% of his passes for just 83 yards and was benched in the fourth quarter. When the Broncos used a second safety to take away his alert route, that's when he started to struggle and his numbers really began to fall off a cliff.
So, wow, this video is really good. Thank you for suggesting it to me. And Alex, you're doing it. I love this video so far. Yeah. And he even said he didn't have a full grasp on the playbook. And like Alex is saying, all right, well, we're gonna dumb it down for you, or we're gonna give these, you know, alert reads, and we're gonna give you all these things. You see the safety go this way, you're gonna throw it to the one-on-one. If not, you have, you know, 2 or 3 in routes or 2 or 3 slants that you can pump the ball to. You go to the Denver Broncos game with a very good defensive head coach who's watching the film. Oh, this is all they're doing with Tua, and he's being successful with it. Let's take it away. Let's take away the small finite area that Chan Gailey is, you know, using for Tua, and see how he does. And we saw how he does. He struggled hard in that game. So it's incredibly interesting because you see the difference, right? Herbert comes in and they bring in an offense that is predicated to Herbert. Joe Burrow goes to Cincinnati. They literally bring the LSU playbook over for him. Tua, on the other hand, he's got Chan Gailey installing an offense for one quarterback, and then all of a sudden he has to come in and play. And it's like, all right, well, learn this.
On the season, he rarely pushed the ball more than 20 yards downfield, and when he did, he had just 8.9 yards per attempt, which was 29th in the league, and a 76 passer rating, which was 25th. He struggled when he was under pressure with just 4.7 yards per attempt, and that was often due to his reluctance to sit in the pocket and progress through concepts, since he would instead get fidgety and scramble.
I honestly think that the fidgetiness and the scrambling and his unwillingness to stay in the pocket has a lot to do, and this is my opinion. You might think that I'm dead wrong. It has a lot to do with the fact that he was not 100%, and I think that he still had that PTSD from the sack that, you know, cracked his hip, and I think he was afraid of taking another big hit like that. I could be wrong, but it seems like that's where that's coming from.
Here's the 3x1 formation with Devontae Parker outside as the alert, and then a dagger concept down below. The Chargers are playing cover 1 robber, which was a common coverage against the Dolphins since teams often tried to double, trap, rob Mike Gesicki in any way possible, especially on third down. So cuz Tua sees a safety rotating down away from his alert, he correctly starts with Parker, who had trouble winning on these outbreaking routes all year. But here's the issue with Tua and why there's major cause for concern moving forward. Instead of progressing backside to the dagger route that's moving into the space created by Gesicki running the cross and Tua's eyes moving the deep safety over the top of Parker, Tua doesn't settle in the pocket and scan the field, but instead tries to scramble to create a second play. He's not Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, who will consistently create with their legs, but that's the kind of quarterback he tried to be.
So I see what he's trying to say, because Parker did not get off the break here, and like he was saying, had a hard time with this route. Step up here, you know, stay here. You have, I think that's Jesse Davis pushing him away. Step up here, but him thinking, I need to make something out of nothing. I need to move up. I need to do this. I need to do that. Tries to roll it out. And he almost had Grant
in his rookie season instead of staying true to his own skill set.
Because
yes,
the
Jerry
tackle
Tillery
got broken.
destroys Jesse Davis off the ball, but Tua needs to step up into the pocket to evade Tillery while keeping his eyes downfield to see the dagger route come open.
Yeah.
But after he comes off the alert, his next move isn't to reset like he needs to, but to run. And if he continues to do that, he's simply not going to last very long at all. He'll have to continue developing into a rhythm-based pocket passer with great vision, quick processing, and elite anticipation, because he doesn't have that athleticism or high-end arm strength like some of the other NFL quarterbacks do. Here's a concept that's schemed up to take advantage of the coverage the Chiefs are playing, but requires that patience and progression ability inside the pocket that Tua showed in college, but not in his rookie season. The Chiefs are playing Tampa 2 zone with 2 deep defenders and a middle run-through linebacker, and the Dolphins concept has Gesicki on this middle read route, plus they have a backside crosser from Devontae Parker. When Tua sees the safety sprinting back at the snap, he should anticipate the 2-high structure and Gesicki to be open, but since it's Tampa 2, the linebacker matches Gesicki's route and the safeties squeeze in on him as well. Backside in-breaking routes are really good against Tampa 2 since that linebacker is running up the field with his back turned, so Parker has nobody anywhere near him, but Tua never sees him. No matter what kind of progression is installed on this play, Tua has to find an open receiver here. If Gailey wants him to read Gesicki to curl to flat, Tua has the flat receiver open. Or if it's designed to come back to Parker when Tua sees the run-through backer out of the picture, well, that would have worked too. The Dolphins' offensive line had plenty of issues of its own, and that's really a whole nother story. But here Tua has a clean pocket and 4.5 seconds to work with, plus he looks right at Parker breaking into his vision, but instead moves up in the pocket for no reason and takes a sack, making it 3rd and long.
I've said even in my film breakdown that his timing and his trust, he needs to trust himself. Because in that situation right there, you get the ball out, throw it to him. You see, like you said, he looked right at Devontae Parker. You've got to throw that.
Discomfort in a clean pocket is something we see all the time with rookies, so it's not like this is something crazy. But since poise in the pocket was one of Tua's perceived strengths coming out, well, it's something he'll have to clean up fast.
And again, you might be like, Doug, stop making excuses, and I respect it if you do say that. I think it has to do with the hip injury. I think the hip injury kind of threw him off, especially not being 100% going into the season and the amount of sacks he was taking and pressure. I think once he actually had a clean pocket, he like Alex said, he didn't know what to do with himself because he was consistently under pressure, consistently getting hit, even if after the throw or before the throw. So I think when he had a clean pocket, it was just like we've all been in that situation where you're like, you have to do 500 different things, and that's literally what comes out of your mouth. You go, So
these issues in the pocket reared their ugly head, especially on 3rd down, when he couldn't use play action, RPOs, or the threat of his backs running, and his numbers absolutely plummeted. On 1st and 2nd down, his QB rating hovered in the 90s, but on 3rd down dropped all the way to 64. His yards per attempt fell 2 yards, and his sacks and interceptions shot up. The Bengals are showing an all-out cover 0 blitz with no safeties deep, and they're not even trying to disguise their intentions. They're bringing the house. They have 7 up on the line to outnumber the Dolphins' 6 in protection and have man-on-man coverage for each of the receivers. Tua has to be prepared for a free runner since the Bengals are showing an extra guy up front, so he needs to determine who his hot receiver is, meaning a quick route he can hit if that extra unblocked pass rusher actually comes. He has 2 potential hots in a slightly longer developing corner route to Gesicki as tight end, and a faster quick out to Jakeem Grant up top. So it's not necessarily wrong to choose Gesicki, but Tua fails to use anticipation and timing and waits an extra half sec to get the ball out and gets pummeled. Right when his back foot hits, the ball needs to come out now, but Gesicki still has an extra step before he gets out of his break, so Tua hitches instead of anticipating him coming open. These extra little hitches popped up way too much on his film and are often the difference between...
you see that? I don't know if Alex is going to talk about it. If he does, I apologize for kind of reiterating what he's about to say. Watch his feet. He does...
Popped up way too much on his film and are often
He should have thrown it. See when he planted his
The
feet
difference
and then he
between
did
a
that
successful
little,
play
that little hop,
and a disaster.
He should have thrown it.
With all
once
the
his feet
obvious
planted.
frustration you could see in Tua, Brian Flores, and the Dolphins' offense as the season progressed, there were some glimmers of hope that showed why he was drafted 5th overall. There are serious questions about his arm strength, but then he'll make a throw or two like this one every game, even though it was dropped, where you can see legit ability. The Dolphins are again running their dagger concept, where Tua will read the deep cross from Devontae Parker first, and then if he's not open, hit Jakeem Grant on the dagger route. The Chiefs are playing cover one-man match, where it's man coverage, but when Parker runs the crosser, Tyrann Mathieu takes him, and Bashaud Breeland replaces his zone in the middle. Despite the corner's inside leverage on Grant, Tua is able to use his eyes to move Breeland a little too far towards Parker, then come back and squeeze in a pass that should have been caught. You can see him look at Mathieu, then come back to read Parker on the cross, and even though there's again a little tiny hitch, he throws a missile to Grant with...
And that's what I was telling you about, that maybe potentially that PTSD from the hip injury and constantly being hit by the offensive, the defensive line, getting through the offensive line. This was one of the scenarios I was talking about, because he gets the pass off, but he still took a big hit afterwards. So when he gets a clean pocket, he might just be like,
pressure closing in. Plays like these are impressive and do inspire that hope, but the bad is far outweighed by the good and has cast a cloud over this offense heading into 2021. The good news is the Dolphins added Jalen Waddle and Will Fuller, who aren't the big body isolation types, but more fit the yards after the catch style that Tua excels with. And the Dolphins have hired 2 new offensive coordinators. Yes, 2, which is kinda odd, but 2 offensive coordinators who will build an offense purely around Tua and nobody else. This was a Ryan Fitzpatrick-based offense schemed up for deep shot plays and an isolation style that didn't fit Tua at all, and there were hardly any changes when he took over. Tua needs a system built around the quick to intermediate game, timing-based progression concepts, and rhythm-based throws that can turn into big yards after the catch opportunities. And if the new Dolphins coordinators can build that system for him, we will see vast improvement next season. But it's extremely concerning that so few of his talents translated even in a non-conducive offensive scheme, and Tua needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror and realize how he can readjust and redefine who he is moving forward. If he can play from the pocket and not outside of it, play in rhythm and hit his receivers with timing, master the mental game and have a plan for each and every progression on each and every play, create and execute yards after the catch opportunities, and help build an offense that can lay this foundation and begin to grow, then Tua time has only just begun.
Absolutely love that video. I have no disagreement with anything he's saying. Yeah, 100%. If he can get his stuff together, and if with this new offense that is predicated and built around him, and he can, like he said, look himself in the mirror and realize what he was doing wrong and what he was doing and fix it, the sky's the limit. And, like I said, I agree with, there's not one thing in this video that I disagree with. He came out of college, and people watched him before the hip injury and saw all these good things. Hip injury happens. He comes in. He starts playing with the Dolphins. They're like, well, we understand that this isn't the offense you run, but you're not even doing X, Y, and Z. The heck? 100%. Could it be the hip? Could it be his head is overtaking other things and he's worried about this and that? Could be. We don't know. But these are the things that he needs to work on 100%. These are the things that if he, like Alex said, if he does it, watch out. It's going to be super dangerous. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know what you think of what Alex Rollins had to say. Because, if you're, as they call it, a to an ear or to a stand, what do you think about the negatives he had to say? What do you think about, the things he needs to work on? And if you're a guy who thinks Tua is a bust, Tua sucks, Tua shouldn't be here, what do you think about the positives he said? Or what do you think about the fact that Tua was put in a system that he never played in, whereas all the other quarterbacks had it predicated around him? Be sure to comment below, and I'm going to get to your comment of the day. Now, like I said, for comment of the day, one of you guys sent me a package. And I'll tell you who it's from. I think it's from overseas. International track. It's from overseas, and it's from Fregal Donaghy. I hope I said your name right, bud. Let's see what it is. Wow. Wow. So this is the front. It's awesome. I love it. That's the back. Wow. Dude, this is so awesome. Thank you so much. Let's see. Let me read the note. Where can I put I need to put this somewhere you guys can see it. Hey, Doug. Hope you like the gift. It's an appreciation for all the videos you do. It is handmade by me in Binghamton, UK. Is made of 4 different types of wood: veneer, maple, mahogany, walnut, and Madagascar ebony. Wow, geez. You could display whichever side you want. Stay classy. From one Dolphins and Mets fan to another. Fred. Come on. This thing is amazing. You can see like the different, this isn't like burnt in. This is the different type of wood. Oh, this is amazing, Fred. Jeez. I'm going to put it somewhere that you guys can see it. Every once in a while, I'm going to flip it. One video will be this way. Another video will be this way. Oh, beautiful. Like I said, one video might be that way, and I might flip it. It might be the other way. But thank you, Fred, for the package. If you guys do want to send me, you don't have to send me packages. If you want to send me letters or anything, P.O. Box is linked below. But that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video reaction. Go check out BackroomCollections. Get yourself something nice. Use the promo code DDW. Again, you got to hit them up on their Facebook. I'll link that in the description. Get yourself something nice. Any sport you want, anything. Hit them up, DDW. Thank you guys so much for helping us break 24,000 subscribers. Up and up we go. Let's get to 25 before the season starts. Thank you guys so much. I have a lot of videos planned. This just popped up because you guys are awesome and sent it to me. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. But other than that, guys, I'll see you. I think Saturday night I'll go live. I think tomorrow night I will go live for a little bit. Usual time around 9 o'clock when the baby and everyone goes to sleep. But other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow night. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.